Welcome to Recaply X, your movie recap in a flash. We bring the drama, the action, and the movie starts, and now we are on Nova Planet. We see trainees preparing to become rangers in the future. Among the trainees is a boy named Kit. He is the son of the Rangers leader, Rage. He is training to join the Rangers alongside his father. The Rangers are warriors who have no trace of fear in their hearts. Their mission is to defend humans against alien creatures named Ursa. Today, the trainees are being promoted to the rank of Ranger. The leader tells Kit, "You excel in exams, but only in exams. Your problem is that you always collapse on the battlefield due to your constant fear. Therefore, I cannot promote you to Ranger. Try again next year." This upsets Kit because he dreams of becoming a Ranger. He asks Valen to let him join the Rangers, explaining that his father Rage returned home today after years of absence. Thus, it's a special day, and it would be even more special if Kit were promoted to Ranger. However, the leader is firm in his decision and refuses. Meanwhile, Commander Rage returns home, and his wife Fire welcomes him. Hours later, Kit also comes back, and everyone is seated, eating, and everything seems fine, until Rage asks his son Kit about his exam results. Kit responds sadly, revealing that he was not promoted. Rage tries to comfort Kit, saying, "You're still young, and you're not ready yet. If you were ready, I would have promoted you." Of course, this upsets Kit further, but after everything that happened, Fire, Rage's wife, explains to him that Kit loves him very much and always tries to get close to him as much as possible. She also tells him that Kit constantly blames himself for what happened to his sister, Senshi. Rage starts to listen to his wife's words. Based on this, he goes to Kit's room and asks him to prepare to accompany him on a training mission to Vitos. This mission involves rescuing an Ursa so that Kit can train on it. Kit is thrilled because he will participate in a mission with his father and role model. For context, the Ursa are alien creatures that cannot see clearly but rely on their strong sense of smell. These creatures can detect the smell of fear very strongly. Rage's mission is to transport an Ursa to Vitos so that the Rangers in that area can train on it and learn how to use their cloaking technique. Cloaking is a technique invented by the Rangers to face the Ursa by eliminating all fear from their hearts. This way, the Ursa cannot smell fear and therefore cannot find or attack them. The next day, Kit and his father board a spaceship that takes them from Nova Planet to Vitos. After a long journey, everyone on the spaceship falls asleep because the trip is extremely long. However, Kit cannot sleep, so he begins to explore the spaceship until he enters a room where he encounters the sergeant. The sergeant argues with him because the room contains a caged Ursa, and any mistake could release it and destroy the entire spaceship. But when the sergeant learns that Kit is Commander Rage's son, he allows him to take a look. At this moment, Kit starts to struggle emotionally because he remembers the time his sister Senshi hid him in a glass box when the Ursa attacked them in the past, and Rage was not there. Senshi couldn't kill the Ursa, and it ended up killing her. Kit, who was devastated, cried and was filled with fear. This explains why Kit blames himself for his sister's death and why he wants to become a Ranger to protect those he loves. After all this sadness, we return to the present. At this point, Rage wakes up again, but senses a fuel buildup in the spaceship, causing him some concern. He immediately goes to Kit's room and tells him to put on his seatbelt quickly. Kit complies, while Rage heads to the spaceship's control room to inform the captain about the fuel buildup. Rage warns them that at this rate, they will enter an asteroid storm within minutes. The crew dismisses his concerns, saying the chances of this happening are very slim. Unfortunately, moments later, the spaceship enters an asteroid storm. The storm is so intense that it damages the spaceship's engine. Rage tries to save the situation, asking the captain to immediately redirect the spaceship to the nearest landing station. The spaceship shifts to another space field at the speed of light, but the outer structure suffers significant damage. As a result, the spaceship could be destroyed at any moment. They have no choice but to land on the nearest planet before the spaceship is completely destroyed. However, the spaceship warns them against landing on this particular planet because it is entirely uninhabitable for humans. Rage is shocked and tries to avoid landing on this planet at all costs, but the captain insists it's impossible for the spaceship to hold up any longer. They are forced to land. Rage reluctantly agrees and gives the order to land. Afterward, he goes to check on Kit. At this point, Kit is struggling to breathe due to fear. Rage tries to calm him down, but suddenly, without warning, the spaceship is destroyed. Rage is thrown far away from Kit, and the terrifying scene causes Kit to faint. Moments later, Kit regains consciousness and finds the spaceship wrecked on the planet Rage feared so much. Kit starts searching the spaceship for any survivors, looking for his father. Eventually, he finds Rage unconscious. Kit hugs him and stays by his side until Rage wakes up after a while. The first thing Rage asks about is, where did the Ursa that was caged go? At that moment, they shocked Kit and realized that the capsule was trapped in the ship, which had gone somewhere. He believed it and realized that the capsule in which it was trapped had separated from the ship and might be destroyed, and he realized that everyone had died. Rage was very upset, but he asked Kit to go to the control room and bring the beacon device from there so that it could send a signal to the Nova planet and the rescue team to save him. Indeed, Kit did so, but the beacon device was also broken. Therefore, he couldn't send a signal to anyone. Based on that, Kit now carried Rage in a manner resembling lifting or something like that to move him to the chair, because Rage was severely injured in his leg and couldn't walk. In general, when Rage sat on the chair, he placed a device on Kit's arm, and they realized there was another beacon device located at the back of the ship. The problem was that the back of the ship had also separated and flew far away from their current location. Thus, Rage told Kit that they needed that device quickly, saying, "You and I are going to die. As you can see, my leg is injured, so I can't go fetch it myself. You must bring that device and save us." Of course, at that moment, Kit was terrified but agreed to undertake the mission because there was no other solution. After that, Rage gave him 6 capsules to purify the air so he could breathe when he went out. These capsules would provide him with breathing time, approximately 6 capsules, equaling about 20 hours. Not only that, but before Kit left, Rage reassured him and told him he would always be with him and would see everything he saw through the device in front of him, guiding him on the right path. Then he handed him his spear. Suddenly, Kato shocked him and said, "By the way, this planet is one of the most dangerous planets in the world, and it contains something designed to eliminate any human who lands here. The most surprising thing here is that the planet they are on is Earth, but this is what it looks like after 1,000 years of humans leaving it, to the extent that it has become uninhabitable." Kit left the ship, terrified and tense, and Rage immediately asked him to kneel, to calm down and focus all his senses. The lesson here is that Kit felt his body was heavier because, by the way, Earth's gravity is stronger than the gravity of Nova planet, where they used to live. He continued his journey and climbed a mountain with difficulty until he reached its peak. Meanwhile, Rage launched remote sensing devices from the ship to search for the capsule that escaped and to understand the planet's atmosphere and whether there was anything unusual. From here, Rage discovered that the planet's temperature fluctuated dangerously and changed rapidly. This means that the entire planet freezes at night except for some thermal zones. Therefore, he ordered Kit to go to one of those thermal zones so he wouldn't freeze at night. Afterward, Rage examined his leg with a device, revealing a severe injury and a cut in the artery of his leg. Thus, he had to change the course of that artery. Indeed, Rage was about to do it himself and took a strong painkiller, but the problem with that painkiller is that it caused visual disturbances, meaning he wouldn't be able to help or guide Kit. Based on that, he refrained from taking the painkiller despite suffering. He continued to monitor Kit, who was still walking through the forest. Suddenly, his clothes turned black, causing him to panic. At that moment, Rage realized that this meant a creature was approaching him, and indeed, my friend, an ape appeared in front of Kit. At that moment, Kit was very scared, but Rage told him not to move or do anything. However, due to Kit's tension and fear, he didn't listen to his father and threw a rock at the ape, which caused other apes to come. Now they were all chasing Kit, who didn't know where to escape, until Rage informed him of a nearby river. Kit immediately ran quickly toward the river, barely reaching it, and jumped jumped in, crossing to the other side. After that incident, Rage noticed that an infection had entered Kit's blood since he left the river. He asked him to evaluate his condition fully. Kit began to do so and found a leech stuck to his hand, sucking his blood. Kit panicked and quickly removed it from his hand. But unfortunately, it was too late as the infection had spread throughout his blood. He could no longer breathe or even see. Based on this, Rage asked him to take out the first aid kit and inject himself with an anti-venom. Kit started crying and calling for his father because he couldn't see anything in front of him. Of course, Rage was very worried but quickly told Kit what to do and instructed him to inject the first dose into his heart. Kit did so literally. The problem was that when it was time for the second dose, Kit couldn't feel or control his hand. Rage asked him to lie on the ground so that the injection would enter his heart on its own without using his hand. Kit complied. After that, he fainted. Hours later, Kit thankfully woke up and was fine, the injection having worked. He continued his journey to reach the thermal zone before nightfall and freezing. Meanwhile, back at the ship, Rage had created an artificial artery for his leg. Due to the severe pain, my friend, he began to remember his daughter Senchi's birthday and started crying because he loved her and still felt guilty for her death while he wasn't there. But Rage tried to regain control of himself so he wouldn't lose his last son. In the meantime, he asked Kit to take another air capsule because the air from the last capsule was about to run out. The problem was that when Kit opened the capsule container, he found that 2 of them were damaged. Thus, he only had 3 left. He took one, leaving him with 2. Of course, he lied to Rage, telling him everything was fine and that he still had 4 capsules, not 2. However, Kit managed to reach the thermal zone after a while. He sat there, talking to his father for a while, before falling asleep. The next day, Kit woke up quickly and continued his journey to the waterfall as Rage had instructed him. Along the way, Kit saw a number of eaten monkeys. At that moment, Rage began analyzing the bodies of the monkeys and realized that they had been eaten by a tiger. Naturally, he was very scared, but didn't tell Kit anything to avoid alarming him. Anyway, after a while, Kit reached the waterfall. At that moment, he informed his father about his condition and the state of his equipment. He lied again, telling his father he had 4 capsules, not 2. But this time, his father noticed that his heartbeat increased as he spoke. There is no doubt that Rage feels his son is lying to him, so he immediately asks Kit to show him the capsules himself. Kit shows him the capsules reluctantly, and of course, Rish is shocked. Afterward, Rish calculates how many capsules Kit would need if he descended the waterfall on foot. The system indicates he would need approximately 3.5 capsules. However, if Kit jumped from the top of the waterfall with a parachute, he would only need 2 capsules. In other words, this was his only way to survive, by jumping with the parachute. When Rish realizes this, he becomes very scared of losing Kit, just as he lost his daughter in the past. He asks Kit to cancel the mission and return to the ship immediately. However, Kit becomes upset at his father's request and tells him that he can manage with just 2 capsules. The lesson here is that Kit explodes with anger and tears, feeling that his father is being unfair to him because he had let Kit's sister die in the past while he himself hid in a box. Not only that, but Kit also blames his father entirely for what happened, accusing him of being absent when the monster attacked. He tells his father, "You are the coward, not me," and without thinking, he jumps off the waterfall to prove to him that he is not a coward. At that moment, Kit's luck, as usual, was terrible. A giant eagle suddenly appeared in the area and began chasing him while he was literally in mid-air. Kit tried to escape, but unfortunately, the eagle attacked him. After some time, Kit regained consciousness and found himself in the eagle's nest with its chicks. The real issue arose when a group of tigers attacked the nest. Kit tried to save the baby birds from the tigers. He managed to knock one tiger off the nest and skillfully threw the second one off as well. Unfortunately, the baby birds died during the attack. Kit decided to leave since there was nothing more he could do. In general, when he returned to continue his journey, he realized that his communication device was lost, meaning he could no longer contact his father. At that point, Kit decided to rely on himself. He entered a cave to protect himself from the cold night. There he made a plan based on what he remembered from his father's instructions. Using this plan, he figured out the direction he needed to go. The next day, he woke up and continued his journey before his capsules ran out. The strange thing was that the eagle kept following him wherever he went. However, Kit didn't pay much attention to it. He crafted a small raft to cross the river and then slept until he reached the end of the river. After some time, Kit woke up startled to find that the river had frozen and everything around him was literally freezing because night had fallen on the planet. He quickly got up and started moving to find a thermal area. However, the cold was so intense that Kit suddenly fainted and began to freeze. Out of nowhere, something dragged Kit and warmed him among the trees to save him from the cold. The next morning, Kit woke up and emerged from under the trees. At that moment, he realized that the one who had saved him from death was the eagle. The eagle had saved Kit because Kit had defended its chicks. The sad part, though, was that the eagle died from the cold as it protected Kit with its body. Kit was deeply saddened, but also grateful to still be alive. He continued his journey and finally, after hours, reached the rear of the spacecraft. There, he used the last capsule he had and began searching for the guidance beacon. However, before doing so, he checked to ensure the monster wasn't nearby. He panicked when he went to the place where the monster had been held and didn't find it there. He quickly returned and tried to communicate with his father using the transmitter, informing him that he had succeeded and reached the rear of the ship. Unfortunately, the monster had escaped. At this point, Rish was overjoyed that his son was still alive. However, Kit couldn't hear his father's voice clearly because he was in an area with electromagnetic interference that disrupted signals. As a result, Kit couldn't hear his father well. Kit then retrieved the guidance beacon and tried to send a distress signal. However, he couldn't do so because, as mentioned earlier, he was in a black zone and unaware of it. This made Kit lose his temper, and he started breaking everything around him until he calmed down and began following his father's instructions to figure out a solution. At that moment, he finally understood that he needed to head to the top of the volcano in front of him to send the rescue signal. He immediately began moving toward the volcano. The journey was extremely difficult because the volcano was erupting and lava was everywhere. After all that happened, Kit entered a cave inside the volcano. Suddenly, without warning, the monster appeared and attacked Kit. Kit somehow threw himself into a water-filled pit inside the cave and managed to escape. Afterward, he exited the pit and continued toward the volcano's summit. However, the monster reappeared and grabbed him by the leg. Kit used his spear to fight it off and managed to escape to the summit. The monster couldn't reach him. That didn't mean the monster gave up. It emerged again, grabbed Kit by the leg, and slammed him against the wall, causing him great pain. At that moment, Kit remembered his sister's death and his father's instructions to sharpen his senses. From that point on, Kit mastered the art of stealth and overcame his fear completely. As a result, the monster couldn't see him anymore because it relied on sensing fear, and Kit was no longer afraid. The monster passed right over Kit without noticing him. Kit seized the opportunity, quickly grabbed the spear, and without hesitation, cut off one of the monster's arms. Not only that, but Kit's resolve hardened to the point where he stabbed the monster in the back with the spear, killing it once and for all. After all that happened, Kit picked up the guidance beacon. This time, the rescue signal was successfully sent to the rescue team. Within hours, they arrived at the planet, boarded the ship, and rescued Rish, who had fainted from the blood loss in his leg. Kit also returned to the rescue team's ship. When Rish saw his son, he realized how exhausted he was and couldn't stand up to salute and honor his son, Kit, for everything he had accomplished. Kit had done incredible things with skill and expertise that even his father couldn't match. Seeing his father do this deeply moved Kit, and they embraced each other. As the ship departed the planet Nova, the doctors treated Rish, and everything between the two of them was back to normal. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification button so you never miss an update.